welcome back to the channel. It is your girl. So today's video is going to be a different type of video. I usually do my get ready with me is really makeup focused kind of story time, but today I think I'm going to do more of a girl talk. I've always wanted to do this, but I'm just going to be sharing, like, this is a new series for my channel. So we're going to get regular get ready with me and then girl talk ready with me, okay? And this is the pilot episode, so I really want to see if you guys like this or not, or how well you guys react to this type of content. But basically we're going to talk about different topics that are related to self-improvement and inner glow-ups. So let's get started. I have these glasses on because I forgot to do a mock interview, so I didn't have time to do my face, so I just put it on. Today's topic is going to be before you mindset. I think a lot of people kind of overlook self-acceptance in general. Self-acceptance should be number one. Like, that should be the first step you take in self-improvement, because you can definitely love yourself, not necessarily accept that you are a certain type of person, because I can be like, oh my god, I love myself, but I don't love who I am. I definitely learned this in a very hard way, because growing up, I had a lot of people that did not necessarily like me. I don't know the particular reason why. I feel like I've never done anything to anyone. Like, I don't think I am a mean person. I don't think I've done anything mean. If I have, then like, I probably have a good reason for it. I think I was a very level-headed, but I kind of had to accept that fact that there are people out there that probably don't like me, and they don't really owe me like an explanation or like a reasoning on why they don't like me through middle school and high school. Even in my youth group, man, people did not like, some people just did not like me, and I just never knew why. In middle school, I had this one group of friends, and all of a sudden, all the girls in that friend group did not like me. They said like I was talking bad about them. It all kind of started because I didn't like how they were joking about me, so I kind of distanced myself from them. And I actually know the girl that started it, but I don't think she knows I know. I just kind of been keeping it a secret, like, in my heart. I definitely don't know like where the animosity she had for me came from, because she was one of my, I consider her one of my good friends. I really don't know, and I guess she went around telling people or telling my other friends that I was talking bad about them. I was doing this, I was doing that, and then eventually they kind of cut me off because I got into that whole debacle with that friend group in middle school. It kind of bled into high school too, where I would always be talked about. Like, people would always talk about me, like the things I did, how I did them, what I was doing on social media, like everything people would be talking about. I feel like every other month it was something new about me that I did, even when I never did any of that stuff. By the way, guys, like, I would get accused left and right, and I would just sit there. And I used to do this thing where I go on social media and I would make these announcements for like the people in my school, being like, that wasn't me. If anyone says that was me, like, if you have, like, we should talk and stuff like that. And I feel like that was not necessary. I just had to learn that some people, you cannot change their opinion about you. People have their opinion about you, and no matter what you do, sometimes that opinion just sticks. Like, it just sticks because they just have that belief, and you can't really change it. So I really learned that you just have to reflect on the situation that happened to you and just accept that it happened. You can't go back in time to change it. You can't go to that person and tell them to take back what they said. That's just kind of ridiculous, you know? I just kind of learned to accept things as it is. I mean, you can say whatever you want about me. I know who I am, and I'm gonna do what's best for me. And what's best for me right now is to kind of block your opinion out, because your opinion is kind of irrelevant. because I would seek out to so many people and ask them why they didn't like me, like what happened. Like, I'm so likable. Like, it's kind of like that. But now I'm like, if somebody doesn't like me, somebody doesn't like me. I cannot make them, you know, be like, oh my god, you have to like me. Like, that's not how life works. That was a hard pill to swallow too. Some people really don't like me, and I just kind of have to live with that. Like, I think nothing personal. I feel like some people just don't like me because they don't like me. I've been called a mean girl so many times. I don't know why people think I'm a mean girl. I'm not a mean girl. I swear to God, I'm not a mean girl. At least I don't think I'm a mean girl. Is that what mean girls say? Like, I feel like I'm not a mean girl. Like, please tell me how does standing up for yourself is being mean, you know? Like, when I used to be in a youth group in my church, and sometimes when the teachers would say something and I would not particularly agree with it, I would, you know, bring up concern and be like, hey, I don't think that's right. Like, you shouldn't talk about that particular student just because she cut her hair short. You think like she's a sinner or something's happening. And I'm like, oh, just leave her alone, it's just hair, it'll grow back, like, calm down. And they'll be like, oh my god, stop yelling at him. Like, why are you yelling at the teacher? Like, calm down, it was just a comment. And I'm like, I'm not yelling. I just responded back and said that he is kind of wrong for him. They'll be like, oh my god, you are this horrible person that like just yells at people. And I'm like, I'm not even yelling, like, I'm just talking normally. I'm trying to have a very mature like conversation with a person. I'm still mutuals with them on social media, I think, but like publicly I don't say hi and stuff like that. But like on the internet, I'm still friends with them. Technically, people still think we're friends, whatever. My friends have told me that like they would be hanging out with them and they'll ask me about them, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like, I know her, she's from my church and stuff like that. And I wouldn't really speak on their character, but I don't know what compels these people to speak about my character, because my friends would like ask that person like, oh hey, do you know her? Like, she's my friend. And she'd be like, oh, I don't like her, she's a shit talker, or I don't like her, she's so mean. I'd be so confused, because I'm like, what compels you so much to talk about my character when you don't really even know me, you know? That brings me on to my next point. These people don't really know you, and sometimes situations are just, it is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to be funny right now, but like literally it is what it is. Sometimes like people will think about you in a certain way no matter what you do. So instead of putting your energy into trying to prove these people wrong or correcting these people, put your energy in just bettering yourself. Just reflect on who you are as a person, how you would react in certain situations, and if that's not the ideal you, change it. People that talk bad about other people are just self-projecting, you know? People take things that they don't like about themselves and they see it in somebody else and they just run with it. Like, they have a fucking field day with shit like that. Like, I could just be, I don't know what's wrong with people that are in my community or like in my mutual friend group, because I could just be sitting there fucking breathing, and then all of a sudden I am this person that did something wrong, and like I'm just this horrible person, like doesn't know how to like act in public and shit. Definitely had my handfuls of experiences where people have called me things, said stuff about me, and I never responded to them, because if there's no truth to it, I would not need to clarify myself. I feel like your character should speak for itself. Going in with the me before you mindset is that no matter what they say, at the end of the day, you are your own person. You can make your own decisions. You are the person that has your back the most. So if anything, your opinion about yourself should matter the most. In my opinion, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's why I am emphasizing on the fact that your opinion about yourself is the only opinion that really matters. You cannot be in denial and try to change yourself. not sit there and be like, I am not a mean person, but I want to try to be nice. Like, you're just contradicting yourself. If you're not mean, then you should have been already nice, or like you should have already been like, kind to other people. You know, this also applies vice versa. You should always see for yourself and form your own opinions about things. I know people have this mindset of like, if you hurt my friend, then you're a horrible person and stuff like that. But if somebody comes to me and talks about a certain person, saying that they're horrible, they are like this horrible person, they like are all this, I will keep that in mind, but I will form my own opinion about somebody. And I think that is where it gets complicated, because some people really just believe what their friends say, and they really just kind of follow whatever is being said. They follow the crowd because they don't want to stand out. And I'm not saying that, like, if you are fully aware that a certain person has done something to your friend and you don't kind of follow suit and cut them off, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if your friend or somebody you know close to you and tells you the person that you don't know and tells you that you need to not be their friend, you need to block them and all this stuff, then that's where I would draw the line. Have your own opinion. It is so important for you to have your own opinion about things. I think a lot of people just really just follow the crowd, and it's kind of like cancel culture. Like, a lot of people are just like, they're like, oh, she did this, like, she's bad, everybody doesn't like her. But you have to put in consideration, like, the context where the action was made, how the action was made, why the action was even made in the fucking first place. Like, I think a lot of people overlook that factor of just fact checking and really understanding why a person did something, and like understanding where the other person is coming from. Because I feel like a lot of people you're definitely gonna side with the person that's like telling you like what the other person did, but you also need to understand that the context of the action, where the action was made, also should be taken into consideration. Like, for example, back to my example of me setting up a boundary with my youth teacher, telling him that I'm not attending a meeting without context. People will hear she told him that she was not going to go in a meeting because he was wasting her time. That's pulled out of context. When you put that into context, that he was making multiple meetings and canceling them when people showed up and stuff like that, you will understand where I was coming from. Therefore, in context, I did the rightful thing of setting that boundary. And some people take things out of context. That's also something that you need to keep in mind. In certain situations, you just really gotta put yourself first. And I think especially in situations where there's people talking about you, there's people making up things about you. If you know you never did anything that they're claiming, why should you worry about it? There's no basis to anything they're saying. You don't need to respond, because then you are wasting your time trying to tell. It's like talking to a brick wall, you know? To some people, you are this horrible person that deserves the fucking dirt of the earth. And to some people, you're like the sweetest person alive. So that is some food for thought for you girlies. I'm done getting ready. That is the end of our pilot episode of Girl Talk. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like it, I'm gonna continue this series. If not, then it can die. But I will see you guys in the next one.